Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Yes, hello and welcome back again to the Kop TV for your daily transfer news update here on the radar with myself, AGT. I hope you're all very, very well. Let me know in the comments who's watching. Before we go any further, guys, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to the Kop TV if you haven't already. And as well, be generous, give us a little like button and make sure you comment as well to the channel. Right, first and foremost, as you've seen in the thumbnail to this video and in the title, I'm going to put it out there. My opinion is that Rhian Brewster is good enough to be in the squad next season for Liverpool. David says, well, he doesn't say anything. He just says a smiley face. There's one back. That's one. My waving back, mate. How are you? So that's my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you make of that opinion. Rhian Brewster is good enough for Liverpool next season. And here's why. I'm going to give you a few reasons why. As we all know, last season and the season before, when we've looked, maybe a bit lackluster towards the 75th, 80th minute, we do one thing. We look to the bench for Divock Origi. Now, I haven't got a huge problem with that. I love Divock Origi. I think he's an absolute Liverpool legend, as we all do. However, I personally believe that this kid right here, Rhian Brewster, is the next thing. Sean Lawson, Shawnee Boy from the LFC Day Trippers, agrees with me. He says, ship Origi and promote Brewster. Big season ahead for Brewster, hopefully. The thing with me is, right, I mean, I absolutely agree with both of these comments. But Shawnee mentions there that we'd have to ship Origi. I would actually argue, Shawnee, that we can keep both of them. Is that realistic? I'm not sure. But with three strikers up front, I call them strikers, Mane, Firmino and Salah up front. Looking to the bench, I do think that there is, space there to have both Origi and Brewster in the squad. Now, when we play the League Cup games, when we play the FA Cup games, when we play the Champions League games, I do seriously believe that Rhian Brewster is good enough to be in those teams and start some games and score some goals. Ideally, what I'd love to see from Brewster this season is around 8 goals in 20 games. Now, that can be all comps, that can be league, that can be whatever. Shawnee says he's different to anything we currently have. S1 says both of them. David says if either Divock or Big Shaq leaves this window, he'll get minutes for sure. Darren Whelan, big fan of the channel. I personally think Rhian should be kept and given his chance. He's a very good option. He's unpredictable. Next kid on the Kop for me. Right, personally, guys, like you all now know, I'm a big fan of Rhian Brewster, and he is being looked at, which is no surprise, by a range of different clubs. The Liverpool Echo reporting that Aston Villa, Newcastle, Burnley, Brighton, Crystal Palace and Fulham have all inquired about a possible season-long loan deal. There's also been contact apparently from Norwich, Bournemouth and Watford. So, I mean, we're talking about 9 clubs. And if you include Liverpool, that's 10 clubs in the Premier League that are really after Rhian Brewster. And they would prefer him to stay in the Premier League if they do decide to loan him out again. And it possibly is an option as well that he could be sent on loan to a top-flight European club. I mean, it's no surprise, once again, that all these teams are in for Rhian Brewster. 0092 Matteo says, keep him as a backup. He can be the next Mason Greenwood, says Jaden. I mean, let's not forget, this guy scored 11 goals in 22 games for Swansea last season in the Championship. Yes, completely granted, the Championship is a very different level to the Premier League, but I have seen enough of Rhian Brewster in the games that I saw of him play for Liverpool last season to see that there's a real bagsman there. I mean, for example, when we played Arsenal in the League Cup at Anfield, the 5-5 game that we all remember, in that game, he was an absolute bully up top. And he made, I think it was Socrates and Mustafi on the night, look like absolute amateurs. I mean, I could probably make Mustafi and Socrates look like absolute. I mean, they are absolute amateurs, aren't they? But Brewster was an absolute bully that game. He played really well in Shrewsbury away. And I think he played a few other games, maybe Chelsea in the FA Cup he played. And I'm a huge fan of him. And listen, the goals don't lie. This kid has won the World Cup with England at under-18 level. He was the Golden Boot winner in that tournament. So I genuinely, just like, and I am going to mention his name, just like Michael Owen, this kid needs game time early doors in his career. You've seen what happened to Michael Owen. He may be burnt out, but I think with Rhian Brewster, he's got the mental attitude and the mental fortitude to be so determined and get into the team this season. You've seen what he said out in Austria. He said that he's got absolutely no intention of leaving. He wants to fight to get in the team, and that's what you want to hear. David says they don't want him. They don't want him on loan to sit him on the bench. They see his talent could help them. I trust Klopp 100% to do what is best for both him and the club. S1 Money says it's his time to shine. Darren Whelan says we've seen what he's done at Swansea. At Liverpool, he'll be looked after even better. Some of his senior pros will push him, and obviously working under Jurgen gives him the world at his feet. Yes, he's mature and driven. I mean, you've even seen, on a different note, some of the stuff he's done in anti-racism videos and interviews, and you can see how mature and how level-headed this kid is already. He's so knowledgeable. He's so determined to really make it to the top, and I'm the biggest fan of Rhian Brewster, and I genuinely think that next season, instead of bringing on Origi all the time and playing him out on the left, we could bring on a Firmino and play Brewster down the middle. He's absolute rapid. He's so quick. You've seen as well last season in the preseason that he scored a few goals as well. So we all know he can be an absolute bagsman. And I hope that he stays at Liverpool next season, because let's be honest, if he does go somewhere else next season, whether that's the Premier League or in Europe, guaranteed he's going to score goals, and we're going to sit there. Maybe if we're going through a period where we don't score a lot of goals, we're going to sit there and go, I wish we didn't send Brewster out to bloody Hoffenheim. He's just scored a hat-trick tonight. So I'm really, really, really keen for Rhian Brewster to stay. Like I mentioned, 10 clubs are in for him, maybe even more. These are only ones that have been reported by the Express and the Echo. We can guarantee, actually, that there's more clubs all around Europe who have got their eye on Rhian Brewster. He's actually said, of course, I want to be at Liverpool next season. I want to be fighting for a spot to play. Who is not going to want to play at the home of the champions? Of course, you're not really wanting to go on loan. But if that's the best thing for me to do in that situation, that's so I'm going to get more game time, and then that's what I'm going to do. But realistically, I want to play for Liverpool, and I want to be the striker. He said he's going to Austria and work as hard as he can and do what he has to do. And whatever the boss says I need to do, I'm going to accept, whether I stay, whether I go back on loan. So I think Brewster's played this beautifully. He's actually come out now and said, you know, Klopp can do what he wants with me. If he wants me to go on loan, I'll do it. But just so you know, Klopp, my aim is to be the striker at this club. And that ambition, that determination, that openness and honesty of where he wants to end up is fantastic. He's the type of player to get a goal, even if he plays bad, absolutely. The 40-yard goal against Reading for Swansea earlier in the year, have a day off. What a goal that was, by the way. No one else could have scored that, in my opinion. Come on, guys, like the stream. Yeah, do me a favor. Press that old like button as well. Tonight on Top of the Kops. Now, if you don't know what Top of the Kops is, it's our weekly Tuesday night show, very similar to Top of the Pops, but with a Liverpool spin on it. Tonight, I have Lewis from Blues Fans TV, and I also have Nikki from West Ham Fans TV as well. It's going to be a great show. We're going to be talking about Trent winning the Young Player of the Year award, Mane winning Player of the Year award. We've got the Matchday Mixer. We've got the Top of the Kops moment as well. And also, we're going to be speaking about a Mr. Bernardo Silva, the BTEC David, who has been running his mouth again on Twitter. So, listen, he needs to get looked after. He needs to get tucked in. Claudia T says he needs to step up now. And if you're thinking about everything that I've just read about what he said in the interview, Claudia, he will step up now. He absolutely knows how good he is, and he just needs the chance to do it. I think genuinely, once he scores that first senior goal for Liverpool, it will be a snowball effect. And I definitely cannot wait to see him play in a red shirt next season, should he stay. David says he's definitely more likely to play for us than the likes of Wilson. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is 4 years younger, though, or 3 years younger than Wilson as well, we have to remember. So in my opinion, Rhian Brewster literally has the world at his feet and can go on and score an absolute bagload of goals for either us or someone else. He's saying all the right words at the right time, proves his maturity and drive. Absolutely, I could not agree with you more. Biram, big fan of the channel. Brewster banged 11 goals in 22 games at Swansea, 1-2 ratio. The boy's starting to shine. I mean, personally, Biram, I think he was shining before he went to Swansea. Like I said, I saw him in a few cup games last season, and he really was the standout player. What surprises me about Brewster, I mean, he is only 5'10", but he's an absolute bully, and you can really see him getting into the backs of the centre-back when the ball's coming from down the pitch, and he's just an absolute mentality monster. And how can you not be when you play under the champions of England? Still Europe until Sunday, and the World, which will still be our title until December or something. And you've seen him having his hair cut in the barbers with a Champions League medal round his neck. You've seen it. I reckon Jaden here says the good thing about him, he's versatile, because if you've seen him play at striker, right wing, and even I think saw him play at left wing once, absolutely. 15 goals next season, he says. Well, I think if he plays 15 to 20 games for Liverpool next season, and that starts and sub appearances in all comps, I think that's doable. If you think about how many games we've got in the Champions League next season, we're going to have a FA Cup run and a League Cup run. I would start him in all of those games, easily 10 to 15 games. And I do believe that he can get 7 to 8 to 9 goals in that time. I do think he's that good. He offers a different style to Origi and Bobby. Absolutely, S1. I could not agree with you more. Right now, guys, I'm going to head off now. But what I would remind you of, Top of the Kops tonight at 6:30 on the channel. Please come back and watch it. We've got 2 great guests in Nikki and Lewis from Blues Fans TV and West Ham Fans TV, respectively. What else have we got coming up? I mean, On the Radar is just an everyday show now, as you know, until the transfer window shuts. But next week, I'm going to be at Box Park, Wembley, with the AFTV guys previewing the Community Shield next Sunday between Liverpool and Arsenal. I cannot wait for that. And like I mentioned yesterday, I'm actually off on holiday the day after that. So I won't be doing any shows for 2 weeks. I'm going to have some time off. David says, I think we have a couple more league games. I think we have a couple of league games before the window closes to give us a chance to see him before a decision on loaning him needs to happen. That's a good shout. We could see him in the first 2 games and he's totally off the pace. And then we think, right, well, maybe we should loan him out. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for all of your comments. That's all I'm going to read out to today. Like I said, 6:30, the Kop TV. Check out Top of the Kops tonight. Next Wednesday is a big day. We've got AFTV preview. And then next Thursday, back up to Anfield, filming Thursday and Friday outside the ground. And then Saturday is the game. And of course, I will be doing fan cams. So if you do want to be involved in the fan cams for next Sunday, please let me know. But until then, you'll never walk alone, and take care.